Good afternoon, viewers. You're welcome once again to Diaspora TV, Switzerland. My name is Aolat Sule. I shall be taking you through a journey of politicking in Nigeria. It is time for presidential elections and gubernatorial elections in some states of Nigeria, as well as the presidential elections. With me in the studio to discuss that, I have got Mr. Kayode Mallami, who is a diasporan, as well as a convener of Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds, ASGM. Mr. Mallami, it's an honor to have you.
Thank you.
Will you please tell us what Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds 1271 is about?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Moderator. My name is Mallami Kayode. Yes, I'm a diasporan, and when I say diasporan, that doesn't mean that I don't know what is happening down there in Nigeria. Just like we rightly said in Yoruba language, you know, I'm a diasporan, but I'm like an elephant trumpet that can be extended to everywhere. So my diasporan covered all the 6 continents in this world. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, the moderator, the Diaspora TV, to air my view on Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds. Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds, ASGM, is one of the numerous support group of Asiwaju. We are one of those campaigning for the victory of our leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Alhaji Shettima, his vice president. We have the ones supporting them, campaigning for them for the victory of the next election that will commence in February 25th of this year. And by the special grace of God, victory is ours. By the special grace of God, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Alhaji Shettima, they are the next president of Nigeria come May 29 this year. Thank you very much.
As well, on the logo of ASGM, underneath is a figure, is a set of figures, 1271. It'll be interesting for our viewers to understand what 1271 is.
The 1271, that was the victory figure of our leader, our candidate, when the primary election was held last year, June. That was what he got from those electorates that casted the votes for him. So that was the victory number for the Asiwaju. Out of, I don't know, there are many candidates on that very day, June 8th. There are many candidates that very day. He got 1271. I think all the numbers of the what do they call them?
Delegates?
The delegates. The number of the delegates, I don't think they are up to, they were up to 2,000. And for a candidate to got 1271 number votes on that very day, it's in fact, I gave it to him.
Is it what you call a landslide?
A landslide, because the person that took the second position, it was a distant second position. So, and that primary election, it was very funny. You know, I never had a fear like that in recent times. You know, there was a time I got the confidence that, okay, nothing happened. The victory is for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But when we are reading from different news, from different bloggers, from different WhatsApp or social media, you know, one got the reason to fear. So, you know, but at the end of the day, that very day, it was an excellent day. It was a day that I can never forget in my life. Those one that some people or the supporters of him were projecting to win the election came distant third. I don't want to mention so because it's all over now. And one thing that really made me happy was that all the candidates, all the contestants of that day, that primary election, they all teamed up behind our leader now. So that's, you know, I give kudos to them, and may God bless them. And then may the Almighty God give us victory, like I said, in February 25 this year, so that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Asiwaju-Shettima will become the president of Nigeria. We believe in them. You know, their performance, they are, you know, we've tested them.
How do two people become president? Do you mean president and vice president in tow?
President and vice president, yes. And then including all other candidates of APC, not only on presidential level, even the gubernatorial and the lawmakers, the comprises of the senators and the House of Representatives, including the state House of Assembly. So
interesting. Yeah. When you said fear during the elections, thank you for teaching us, making us aware and educating us about the 1271 figure. Obviously, a lot of Nigerians in diaspora, even back home, may want to know what 1271 is about. Thank you for shedding light on that, Mr. Mallami. So 1271 is the winning figure. It is the winning amount of votes of the presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, at the primary elections. You said you had about 2,000 thereabout delegates, and Asiwaju won with a landslide 1271.
And no any other candidate come even closer. Not even 500 votes. So he was the only one that exceeded the 1,000 line, 1271. So the person that many were projecting to win the primary came distant third. So, and then all the fear just evaporated.
Do you call it fear or anxiety? You were anxious, or you were actually afraid?
Anxiety. For me personally, I call it fear, because it's really that
How
primary
do you mean
election.
Fear of loss, fear of losing.
Different information we are getting from different angles, you know. So it can make someone to fear that is our candidate, is our leader going to make it? So if you now call it anxiety, the anxiety of, for me it's fear. I got fear. Maybe other people may be talking about anxiety, but for me it created a lot of fear in my mind at a certain point in time. I must confess with you.
But then your candidate had victory.
And
at the end.
as the day he won, the fear evaporated. The fear just went away like that, and it was like a dream. It was, I mean, on my wildest dream. I can't just, that very day, I can't forget the day.
And your confidence grew, maybe?
Of course, yes. It grew because all the other contestants or the other aspirants, they've already teamed up with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is very, very good of the APC. I thank them for that. Yeah. That is maturity.
Thank you
for
politics. That piece of information, Mr. Mallami.
You're welcome.
Now, going forward, Our viewers on Diaspora TV will like to know, Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds, is it a thing of just Nigerians in the diaspora, or it is a grassroots thing back home? How does ASGM as a support group, how do you impact the political process, the ongoing politicking in Nigeria?
The Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds, the ASGM, Mrs. Moderator, I don't want to use the word diaspora in whatever I'm doing. I think about Nigerian politics today, I don't want to hear anything diaspora. We are Nigerians, whether we live abroad or living in Nigeria. We are all Nigerians. So putting diaspora on anything that we are doing, sometimes it irritates me a lot. So Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds is not a diaspora thing, it's a grassroots support group. And it's everywhere in Nigeria. We have the ASGM in the northern part of Nigeria, in the southern part of Nigeria. When I say northern and southern part, we have the ASGM in the north central, the northwest, northeast of Nigeria. We have in the southeast, we have in the south and southwest that I come from. So it's extended, the ASGM is there everywhere in, not all the 36 states, but they are still, we are still progressing day by day. And we have 6 conveners in ASGM. That is what stands the ASGM.
We'll come to that, Mr. Mallami.
Okay.
You were talking about having ASGM. When you talk about having them having ASGM across states in Nigeria,
including the federal capital.
Are you referring to chapters of the group exist in various states of Nigeria?
We have the chapters.
So when you say southwest, southeast, that is regional, that is zonal.
We have.
Do you also have them in various individual states?
We have I don't want to be mentioning the states that the ASGMs are. That is why I just use the 6 regions in Nigeria. So that the ASGM we have ASGM in all those 6 regions in Nigeria. Okay. So it's not extended to all the 36 states, but there is no state in the 6 regions. At least in every 6 regions, we have the ASGM chapter.
Oh, interesting.
And then in some states, we have a zonal platform for the ASGM. We have so we have like Lagos State. I think we have about 3 or 4 zones. We have the Lagos Island, we have the Agege, we have the Ikorodu. And we have
local government.
Yes, when we say local government, Ikorodu and its environs can be more than one local government. So I can call it maybe like a senatorial district. So I think that is better.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, amazing. That's interesting. That's a lot of work for one person. I know that I am of the knowledge that you are a convener of ASGM.
That is very correct.
It'll be interesting and noteworthy. Are you a single convener of ASGM, or do you have other people join hands with you in convening?
Not at all. A tree cannot make a forest. I'm not the only convener supervising the ASGM. Not at all. We are 6 in numbers.
Okay.
So, and the 6 of us, you know, we are scattered all over this continent, this world. We have conveners coming from America, like my dear brother Victor Akinola is one of the convener. Miss Fola Olumo is one of the convener, also from America, from the United States of America. And Alhaji Bola Fasasi, also from America, is one of the conveners too. We have Mr. Brian, from Nigeria. We have Alhaji Latif Bello, from Nigeria, is one of the conveners, and even doubled as our national coordinator.
Oh, I see.
So we have also in Europe, we have one Alhaja AOS. So from London, Alhaja Aolat Sule from London, and then we have Mallami Adekunle Mallami, yours truly, from Switzerland.
Okay, that's good too.
So those are the, just like we are in Switzerland here now, and in Switzerland they have 7 ministers ruling us here. We call them Swiss top 7, the Swiss top 7. So just like the Swiss top 7, the ASGM also has the ASGM top 7. We are 7 in numbers.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Now that it's clear to us that ASGM was convened by 7 people from across the world.
Exactly.
And we have ASGM chapters, so to say, in various states of Nigeria. Now, how do you impact, and you have said to us how it is not a diaspora thing, but I have seen you on other platforms educate Nigerians in diaspora as regards the political process in Nigeria, as regards the ongoing politicking in Nigeria. It's interesting to know as well that you touch the grassroots back home, but how do you do it? How do you get information? How do you get knowledge and awareness about the political process across to the grassroots in Nigeria?
Yeah, it's very simple, because politics is an inbuilt thing on me. And like we normally says in Yoruba language, we used to say ability. Abinibi yato si ability. And inbuilt is, different from ability. I can be able to do it. It's not the same thing as natural thing. Someone that can able to do this is not the same as someone that is, he was born with it. So politics is inborn thing in me. I started politics since 1979, and 1979, today is 5th of January 2023. If I don't know how it goes, then shame on me. So I know how it goes, and when it comes to grassroots politics, I give it to myself. I have the experience, and I know what it entails and how one can go about the grassroots politics in Nigeria. I have a platform, a very well-known platform on Facebook, and I can say it loud and clear that I'm a household name in Nigerian politics too. Many people know who is Mallami. And one thing you can never see about me is telling lies to the people. Always telling all my people No. Say the truth. And I'm always educating my people. And I'm a defender of good governance. When I say good governance, that doesn't mean that, okay, we've had a ruling party that is not the same as the present one in Nigeria. Did you defend them also? My answer would be no. Because during that time, I'm talking of 1999 till 2015, we did not have good governance then at the national level. So I was not part of that ruling party.
At this point, Diaspora TV will be moving forward.
Yeah.
We will not be talking about the
It's okay.
not very good past, but
okay.
we will be talking about the good future that we look forward to. Now, so much of talking about ASGM, Mr. Mallami. Let's talk about the big fish, the big elephant. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For you and for Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds Conveners, members et al., why Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for President of Nigeria 2023?
Why not Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for Nigeria presidential election 2023? Why not him? You know, the answer is very simple. He's an exemplary leader. You know, he has been, like I said earlier on, he has been tested. This is, you know, a great leader. You know, this is a man that has built a lot of other leaders in Nigeria. He has done a lot of things in Nigerian politics and still doing a lot of things in Nigerian politics, and people love him. You know, when you are doing things, you don't know that people sees you. We are all aware of what he has been doing. That is the reason why some of us we are even ready to put on our life for him to get the victory in February.
Mr. Mallami, when you say we, will you be referring to people of your generation?
People of like minds.
People before you? People
of like mind. It doesn't mean my own generation.
Diaspora TV obviously has got younger generation viewers who are Nigerians, non-Nigerians that may be interested in the politics of Nigeria and the affairs of Nigeria. You saying he has done so many things.
So many things, yeah.
Especially I am inclined, and I'm sure
when he was the governor of Lagos State between 1999 to 2007.
Now, mention, for instance, say for example, our young viewers on Diaspora TV, younger generation viewers who may not even know who Asiwaju is, who may not know his antecedents. Would you seize the opportunity now to give us some of his antecedents, why you have said he has done so much? Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I will use Lagos State as a sample. From 1960 till 1999, for those people watching us, you may know, they may be aware of how Lagos was then. And, you know, Lagos State was one time the capital of Nigeria. Lagos State was capital of Nigeria between 1960 till 1992. But not all part of Lagos anyway. Mostly the Victoria Island also was the capital. But you know, we all know how Lagos State was till 1999, until Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu came. When he came, for example, let me make a vital example. He met the IGR of Lagos State, I think it was between 600 to 700 million. And within his 100 days in as a governor of Lagos State, the IGR went as far as more than 2 billion. Today, in Lagos State today, the IGR of Lagos State is over 50 billion per month. Per month. Some states in Nigeria cannot even generate 50 billion IGR in 1 year. But Lagos State is generating over 50 billion naira as IGR every month. That is why you see the progress, all the development, you know, all the infrastructures springing up here and there in Lagos State. The recent one is the light rail train. So this man is, I give it to him, he's an exemplary leader. Like if I start narrating what he has done from 1999 till now, when I say till now, don't get me wrong, you know, the man is an head counter. He has built a lot of people, and all his successors, he was the one that, you know, he knows how to pick them. He cannot do everything. Like I said earlier on, a tree cannot make a forest. He can't do it without having his own team, without having his own cabinet, without having his own good people, and without having God standing solidly behind him. So he has been able to do that up till date. When he left power in 2007, PRF came, Babatunde Raji Fashola became the governor for another 8 years. So he continued from his own blueprint. I think he had a blueprint of Lagos State, I think for 50 years or so, that you know, every governor that comes after him keep on executing. So I give it to him. He's an exemplary leader.
A blueprint of projects, you mean? To develop
Lagos
the state of Lagos.
To develop Lagos State. Okay. And if a man can have such a thing, he has even something better than that to make Nigeria great. That is how, I mean, the reason why many of us are supporting him, you know, and like I'm saying, by the special grace of God, he will be our next president.
You mentioned head hunting or head counter.
Yeah, call it anything.
In what manner?
Okay,
in what manner is Asiwaju a head hunter or head counter, as you called it?
Asiwaju, when he was a governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Raji Fashola was his, what do they call, his chief of staff. And he has studied this man. He has, you know, he discovered him that this is going to be another Tinubu. This is going to be another replica of my able self. And he supported him. For me personally, I have never heard of the name Babatunde Raji Fashola until Asiwaju Bola Tinubu brought him into limelight. And to our own surprise, he really performed. Including the one after him, the Ambode, also performed. Whatever Ambode may have has to do between the Lagos State politics or the APC politics in Lagos State, but he's also performed. And this is our dear brother that is there now. You can see the wonderful things that he's doing. Who
is the brother that is there now?
Sanwo-Olu is his name.
Oh, the governor of Lagos State, you meant?
State, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
His deputy is Femi Amzat. You know, they are performing tremendously well.
That's amazing.
Why is that happening? It's because of the blueprint that Asiwaju has already put into the table. That is what every one of his successors are following up to this present moment. Today, you know, I don't want to dabble into local politics like this Yoruba nation.
Will you be implying then that you are looking forward to, you're expecting replication of infrastructural advancement in Lagos State on a wider scale across the country if Asiwaju becomes president? Is that the sort of thing
exactly
you're
and then
referring to?
I must give kudos to our president also, President
Muhammadu
Buhari. We call him PMB. Some people call him GMB.
Interesting.
So the PMB is President Muhammad Buhari. But some people that, don't let me go there, they still call him general. We don't have military general as we don't have, what do we call it, military are not the one ruling us in Nigeria. We don't have military regime. So he was an ex-army, an ex-general. So, but he did not put this name, the name general on his name, but some people, they said, okay, he's still the general for the best reason known to them. But I call him PMB. I give kudos to him because he has done a lot of things in Nigeria in terms of infrastructures and still doing a lot of things for us in Nigeria. You know, I'm a hardened supporter of General Muhammad Buhari, President Muhammad Buhari. I'm a great supporter of him. I can defend him day and night. If you like, if anybody likes, they can show me the sword that they want to use to cut my head. I will still be defending Buhari. And so the same thing goes with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Interesting.
There's nothing you can say against him. It can never sell. In my own markets.
So you move on from being pro-Buhari
because I'm a core progressive man.
Pro-Asiwaju.
Progressive man.
Interesting.
You know, what I hate in my life is corruption. And then, I support good governance. If I see you, if there are some other things that President Muhammad Buhari, that, I cannot score him, I'll give him pass mark. For example, insecurity. And if I say insecurity, if I say that I cannot give him pass mark on insecurity, so I cannot give on all those troubled states in Nigeria that we have, I can also not give pass mark to all those governors governing those states too, because it takes two to tango. The president cannot do everything. Some people, they're always saying that, he's the chief C, commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yes, he is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Some people always bring in this
narrative
and this, what can I say? You know, that, okay, the governor of a state doesn't have power to control the army. They don't have power to control the police. But I'm always telling them, when these governors, when they want to use the army, when they want to use the police, to rig an election, they have control over them. But when it comes to security or insecurity, you'll be hearing all those lame excuses, So every state in Nigeria, they have what we call security votes. Look at this country that we are now, Switzerland. I just moved from one house to another house last year, December, and because what we call the Gemeinde is like a local government, because they were closed during the time I moved in. I was, it scared me that I haven't registered, that I've left this village to this city. So it was my first assignment when they resumed on the 3rd of January. The first thing I did was to go and register that, yes, I've moved away from the village in Zurich to Zurich city now. So that is what that is what can can curb insecurity in Nigeria too. The insecurity starts from the local government.
Talk about data collection.
If there is if we have criminals, I come from Oyo State, and I come from one of the biggest local governments in Oyo State, Saki West. If there is a criminal, we have criminals coming from Saki West, what is our local government chairman doing? Because every criminals you see in Nigeria, every criminals you see in Nigeria, sorry, Miss Moderator, every criminals you see in Nigeria, they come from one local government and another. So if we have all this data, like you rightly put it, if we have all this data, like, I'm not living in Ben, I came to Ben since yesterday. Even with my car, they can know that I plow this highway from Zurich to Ben. They can know it. So if there's anything, they know, okay, so car come plow this road yesterday. And it was there maybe till today if I go back to Zurich.
That's talking about proper and adequate data collection.
Exactly. That is what is lacking in Nigeria. And as much as, we can never have security in Nigeria if we fail to start fighting insecurity from the local government. Let us forget it. Like I said, hopefully Diaspora TV will invite you for another interview, another session on security or security or insecurity, as the case may be, in Nigeria. But at this moment, we're talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Anyway. We're talking about the current politicking ongoing in the country, Nigeria, and we're talking about ASGM as a support group for the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu ongoing campaign, isn't it? Yes.
That's as it is. That's what we're talking about. It'll be interesting for our viewers to know. You go on about educating, creating awareness in your diaspora. It is also will be interesting to know how you do such back home, knowing that Nigerians in diaspora do not have voting rights. I know that kudos to Adiomole in the United Kingdom. They have set up, as a matter of fact, I think it was presented at the Federal House of Representatives for them to pass it into law for diasporans to be able to vote. It was called the Diaspora Voting Rights. I'm glad it was defeated. I'm glad you're aware, but it didn't see the light of the day. But
it was defeated, and it's one of those. The reason why I said I don't like hearing that word diaspora, because sometimes our politicians, they are very funny. We have in every country we have good and the bad ones. And then we Nigerians that are residing abroad, instead of calling us diaspora, we even use the name coinage by my dearest brother, TMZ. He always calling us Abroadians. So we the Abroadians, there are many of us Abroadians, let me use the language that they know, diaspora, that can change that country. That can change that country. But our politicians, they are very, very funny. One thing is that they are always underrating us. Or maybe they are always, let me use the word, feeling jittery. That, if we bring somebody like Mallami, hey, it's going to, override us, outperformed us, and then what? We want good things to come to our country. Why must you be jittery that somebody is coming to come and do good things in Nigeria? I find it very funny. And that is what some of our politicians are doing. Look at the way some of us abroadians, the way we are giving it all what it takes for this Asiwaju-Shettima project. It's like our lives depend on it. The reason it's not being far-fetched, it's because of the love we have for our country. You see, the love we have for our country. Maybe
sense of commitment?
Sense of commitment, yeah. If you know, it's just like the word love. The best definition of love is commitment. So, and if you are not a great lover of Asiwaju-Shettima, you cannot commit yourself on their project. So, and this is what is really happening. But at the end of the day, you know, when the last time I was in Nigeria, I spoke with, to the chairman of APC in Oyo State, and I told him, Chief Omodewu, this is the time for us to be recognizing some of us living abroad. We are giving it all what it takes. But when everything has been settled, you prefer picking your relatives. You prefer giving what doesn't belong to your friends, to them, or maybe your side chicks, your loved ones. You know, all these things, some of us, somebody like me, I cannot be discouraged, because all what I've been doing, like I said, since 1979 is to have Nigeria of my dream. And by the special grace of God, I will witness it during my lifetime. So, and, but, you know, when you look at it, I call these support groups. I know how much some of, all the conveners. I know we have a conveners, we have the zonal coordinator, we have the state coordinator, we have the chapter coordinator, we have, you know, and I know the whatever they are giving to it. So, and they are spending their time, their energy, and even their resources, the little resources that they have, or even the, you know, but I don't think we have Dangote among us. So the little one we have, we are still using it just to support our great leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's
an amazing thing that yourself and other conveners of Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds ASGM 1271 expend so much money, effort, and time to create the awareness amongst Nigerians in diaspora, as well as creating awareness at the grassroots level back home. Now, considering that, I said it before, I must say it again, because you have explained a lot of things to us about the voting rights. Owing that Nigerians in diaspora do not have voting rights, what manner of approach do you want to take? How do you want to encourage Nigerians in diaspora vis-a-vis ensuring the victory of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the polls come February 2023?
Thank you very much once again, moderator. It's very simple. If and only if some of us cannot go to Nigeria because of one reason or the other, maybe some are not being permitted from their various places of work, and they were unable to go to Nigeria in February/March this year. There is one thing we call, to answer your question, there's one thing we call voting by proxy.
Voting by proxy.
That is what we are going to apply for those people, for some of us that are stay behind in our various host countries. So we can apply voting by proxy. So that we have to encourage our people down there in Nigeria. We have been doing that anyway to get their PVC, to make sure that nothing wrong with their PVC.
Level,
at the grassroots level.
At local government. At state level. At all community levels back home. Yes. ASGM.
We have, yes.
1271.
Yes.
I've got programs in place encouraging citizens to go get their PVCs. Okay.
And on the day of the election, to cast their vote for Asiwaju.
That's interesting.
Shettima. So that is what we have been doing. So Olympic, they said, is not to win, but to participate. So, and by the special grace of God, we are winning that Olympic in February 25. We have been encouraging our people in Nigeria, For example, now, I have children. Some are living abroad. Some are living in Nigeria. So, and I have all my children, they really love me. They really love me. So whatever I tell them is what they are going to do. They will not say that, they will not use that slogan, keep on dancing, let me be looking at your dancing steps, So they will do whatever I tell them to do. And if I have the power to, to command my children to vote for Asiwaju, if I have the command to ask my children to vote for Senator Teslim Kolawole in Oyo State and his deputy, my dearest brother, Dr. Femi Okunlola.
Wow.
So I can also command them to vote for Senator Baf and other two candidates, senatorial candidate, the Senate candidate of APC in Oyo State, including my dearest brother, the one I really love most, Honorable Jide Olatubosun, vying for the third term in House of Representatives. So I can, whatever I tell them is what they are going to do. And by the special grace of God, all those aforementioned, Salafa Ali, Akintude, Baf, including all the House of Representatives of the APC and some other. See, Oyo State is very funny. Oyo State today is like, it has, like it happened in 2019, it has been factionalized, but by the special grace of God, after for example, the presidential election and the lawmakers, the senatorial and the House of Representative elections, they are coming on the same day. After that election, by the special grace of God, Oyo State APC will unite. And that union is what we are going to use, that the weapon we are going to use to defeat Seyi Makinde. And
so,
thank you.
Voting by proxy is what you plan to, is your slogan, your watchword of encouragement for Nigerians in diaspora. Owing that, maybe not, owing that Nigerians in diaspora have a huge influence on relatives back home.
We do.
So you are expecting that, because in Nigeria, the slogan is tell 1 to tell 10. Tell 10 to tell 100. Tell 100 to tell 1,000. And 1,000 to tell 1,000,000.
Exactly.
To collect their PVCs and vote for Asiwaju, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Senator Kashim Shettima at the presidential and vice presidential elections 2023, and to vote for all the APC candidates. Okay, so they say back home, tell 1 to tell 10. So your slogan to diasporans is tell your people back home where you may not be able to go home to vote, where you may not have a voter's card, you're resident abroad, you need not worry. Just go out there, encourage your people back home to vote. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima and the rest of the aspirants under
the
APC flag. Yes. Okay, that's good to know.
One thing is this: in Oyo State, where I come from, I think the APC in Oyo State, they did something very wonderful. You know, it was like I was just sleeping, and they just tapped my shoulder, or just knocked my head, and say, "Hey, Mallami, see what we brought for you. Because we know you, because we know your capabilities. You know that you have been coming from afar in terms of politics in Nigeria. Not only politics in Nigeria, I'm well versed in politics of this world. Whenever there is an election I've been monitoring election in America since 1992 during the time of Bill Clinton, Al Gore against the Bush senior. So you won't see me sleeping for days. I'll be monitoring that election, including that. Yeah. So it's an hobby, and so because of this, and whatever that is happening, the politics in Nigeria, I'm well versed in it, and I have a lot of information because, like I said earlier on, I told you that I have a platform. On my platform on Facebook, you know, mine is just to be sharing news to the whole people. I started this in 1999 using email address. So, and some politicians in Nigeria, like my dearest sister, Abike Dabiri, Raufu Aregbesola, Kayode Fayemi, and so many other politicians in Nigeria, like our former police Minister of Police Affairs in Nigeria, Mr. Humphrey Abba. Mr. Humphrey Abba, anytime, you know, whatever I sent on Facebook in the evening, you know, I will gather everything together and send it to all my mail recipients as a newsletters. So Mr. Humphrey Abba got used to it, that any time he didn't receive the newsletters from me for 3-4 days, he will call me. Mallami, it's like you're in Nigeria.
So, hence you are using all you have within your expertise.
My platform, like my dearest brother said to me one day during the time of Governor Ajimobi, may so rest in peace. You know, I posted something negative about late Ajimobi that time because I was annoyed. And that my brother, my precious brother is what I used to call him. His name is Dino Akindele, that popularly known as Ayekoto. He said, Edmo, please can you bring it down? I said, why? He said, don't you know that your platform is like CNN? you understand? So I said, I won't bring it down. But at the end of the day, I brought it down. So
that's interesting.
You know, if you want to know much about Mallami, you can even ask Ayekoto, or you ask my dearest brother too, Mazi Joe Igbokwe. They know much about me. They have been into this for so many years. We are core progressive. And yeah, I can never change. So whether many people always say, this time around they must give you something, they must give you something. Okay, well, if they give, I take. But I cannot lobby for it. You know what I've been doing. When Ajimobi won the gubernatorial election in 2011, I did not sleep for 33 hours. A guy, may God bless him, I don't know him, I don't even save his number. He has an Igbo name. He called me. He said, Mallami, I've been watching you for the past 33 hours. You've never sleep. Please go and sleep. You know, monitoring Oyo State's election result. You see that? Like, and you see, with all what you are doing, I know you also, the moderator, I know what you have been doing in Nigerian politics. I know what you have been doing for the progressive in Nigeria. I know what you are, you've lost a lot of things without gaining even, okay, maybe this time around, I may say, okay, maybe the gain is coming. They made you the PCC, they made you this, they made you that. Like me also, maybe I would also say it's the same thing. They made you PCC member in 2-3 different places. Yeah, myself, I would also say something like that. That was the story I wanted to say before. That the Oyo State APC, they deemed it fit, tapped my shoulder and said, "Look, we are making you the strategic advisor for diaspora mobilization and allied matters on presidential and governorship campaign council in Oyo State."
Congratulations on that. Hence, we'll say that...
when it comes to the PCC on national level, I'm also a member.
Wow,
so
congratulations.
I think they started recognizing us.
That's worthy recognition at national level and at state level.
Thank
wow,
you very much.
Amazing. That's interesting.
And, the Bola Tinubu project and the Teslim Folarin project, these are my babies. And by the special grace of God, we are going to be announced as a winner in February 25th and March this year, by the grace of God. Thank you.
Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting one there. So your slogan for diasporans vis-a-vis the presidential candidacy of Asiwaju is voting by proxy.
Voting by proxy.
Tell your people back home. Tell family members.
Yes.
Tell friends.
Yes.
Your beneficiaries.
Even tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You never know. You can gain from them. If whatever it depends on how you market yourself. You see, depends on how you market yourself. Sorry for veering away from our discussion. I always saying it. But why do we have religious turmoil in Nigeria? It's because these are our clergy people in both sides. They are not teaching what's supposed to be teaching the people. Humanity and love. And if you fail to win victory for humanity, you must be ashamed to die. So if I want to preach religion, for example, sorry, I said sorry before. We're not talking about religion. Okay, let us forget it. Let us forget it.
So we're talking about, we want you to tell us about Asiwaju, how Asiwaju is going to win the presidential elections.
Yes.
How Asiwaju-Shettima is going to win the vice presidential election.
You don't have to be abusive. You don't have to be, elections. You don't have to be what they call Nigerian vocabulary today. They use the word violence. You don't have to be violent before you tell them who is Asiwaju Tinubu. Just be polite. Politeness and consideration with others is like you invest a pen or a cent and getting $1 back.
Thank you for coming to that. I did say to you that I was going to ask you that question. What is your message for people that also support Asiwaju? What is your message for Nigerians that support other candidates, presidential and gubernatorial candidates alike under other parties aside of APC? I know you're pro Asiwaju-Shettima, APC, a diehard, progressive, and all that. What is your message for constituents, electorates? I look around, I see a lot of banters, sometimes very negative banters, sometimes verbal abuses, sometimes even verbal curses, one towards another, only because people are supporting different candidates. What message have you got for such of our people who go out on social media, knowing that elections are not won on social media, elections are won in polling booths? I am of the opinion that people should be going to to collect their PVCs and preparing to vote their candidates of choice. But what I see mostly on social media is people cussing out one another. It's all over Twitter. Somebody is this, somebody is that, and one word of advice as a progressive, as a diasporan, as someone who is passionate about the growth of his nation. One word for people out there who engage in throwing unnecessary banters, cussing and yelling at one another, negative words.
My own advice for them is just it's very simple. I would tell them, be like Mallami. Because if I believe in you, you don't have to look back. I will keep on defending you, without being aggressive. When I'm selling my product, when I'm selling my, I studied marketing in Polytechnic in Nigeria. And so I know what it takes when you are selling products to the general public, During our time, I think we have what we call 4 P's: place, product, price, and promotion. I think they've extended it to about 6 or 7 now, the way I had it. But I still stick with our own old school level. So you have to be selling your product so that even if I hear something positive, maybe that can change my mind, or can change his mind, can change her mind. Instead of throwing banters, Madam, there is nothing positive in banters. It's always negative, So instead of throwing banters to this and that, sell your product so that maybe you can,
best that you can, right?
Why
sell your product the best that you can.
Why these banters? Why this aggressiveness? Why this cause? Some causes you, or the causes themselves, because of politics. Politics is not do or die. I always telling the people.
No, it isn't.
It is not do or die. And whatever we do today, it become story or even history tomorrow. So, they just have to tread softly. Okay. Those ones on
your one word, effectively, tread softly. Tread softly. Sell your candidate.
Sell your product
to the best of your ability.
Exactly.
And
instead of
hopefully, in the process, you may win.
Instead of resolving into
you may win more souls.
Derogatory language, whatever Like I always telling some of our friends also.
Sell your candidacy devoid of derogatory language.
Yes.
That's a good one. I like that.
And what I always telling our people is that some people, when you can't see, there is no way you can take a walk without shaking your head. So, it's, even when we have this small organization, we will still have some bad eggs, bad onions, bad product inside. But what I'm always telling people is that let us emulate this our great leader. When they are trained banters to him. When I say leaders, I mean Asiwaju-Shettima, Buhari, they have been throwing banters to them. For them, they don't even look. They don't even know whether people are throwing banters to them. They keep on forge ahead. They keep on.
Well, that brings us to the point, Mr. Mallami. We shall be rounding up now. How on earth has you as a PM beast, you as a Jagabanist, it amazes some of us how these two have been able to cope with all of the derogatory comments, sometimes some of us wondered in gatherings when we talk about it, some of us wonder if they are super bigs. How have they managed the banters, the derogatory things said to them? So much for President Buhari, who was labeled Jibrin from Niger. I cannot imagine. I can't imagine myself being called somebody else. People saying that I've been cloned.
That is what.
But you, as a PMBs, will know better, and as a Jagabanis,
that is what made them.
Our young viewers would like to know how has Asiwaju.
It's really made them.
How has Asiwaju coped with this? Are there certain things that Asiwaju has said in these regards about how, it is what it is?
They are all humans. And whatever the detractors or those subhuman beings or those stupid and flamboyant elements, whatever they said against, they are saying against them, they use the word ignore. They just ignore them. They just ignore them. Some of those people that always abuse, do you know those ones that always amusing me? It's like Mallami is in diaspora party today. It's one of the political parties in Nigeria, for example. And I have my supporters supporting me blindly like that, And they are abusing other supporters.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, Mallami moved away from diaspora party and joined the APC. Look at those, and all my supporters, within a twinkle of an eye, they also become supporters of APC.
Anyway, some of us should learn from those two, PMB and
they should learn from them.
Jagaban,
and including Shettima. They are saying so many negative. Why must you be? I don't know why some people sleep. Digging out negativity.
Why or how they sleep.
How they sleep. You know how they sleep. Digging out negativity about your fellow human beings.
We won't have the time to go into that now. Mr. Mallami.
Sorry. Okay. And another thing.
I can see that if we let you loose, you're going to go on and on and on and on about your candidates.
What Tinubu, Buhari and Shettima are doing to those train banters, it's very simple. We have a tunnel here in Switzerland.
Okay.
The tunnel is the longest tunnel, I think, in the world. It has 18 kilometers. It's 18 kilometers long from German part of Switzerland, and it came out of Italian part of Switzerland. We call it Gotthard Tunnel. So the Gotthard entered from the German part, and where it came out from Italian part, we call it Airolo. So that is what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Muhammad Buhari and Shettima are using for those people that are train banters to them. They use what we call, the Germans were always making fun of it. We used to say, Gotthard Rhein Airolo weg. Let it enter from the Gotthard and get out of the Airolo. So it doesn't stay on my head.
Fantastic.
Inside the tunnel, this is
Gotthard and Airolo.
Gotthard and Airolo. Sorry for my language.
That's okay.
In the German language, I'm used to German.
It's allowed.
I speak German very fluently, and the German that German is what really made me not to be very fluent in English again, because sometimes I will be choosing which word am I going to choose, So
much. On a personal note, I commend their tenacity, these two.
I do also.
In this regard.
But that doesn't mean that they are not human. Sometimes these things pain them also, and I can feel their pain. Like President Muhammad said, I think the last week of December, he said, calling him Jibril of Sudan,
That's robbing you of your identity.
Exactly.
That's trying to take your identity, your real identity away from you.
And that's to them is this.
It's such insult.
Whoever if you are still living, you don't know the death that will kill you tomorrow. So don't mock any living human beings. Even the dead ones, don't mock them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
May God bless you.
Dear viewers of Diaspora TV, you can see if we let Mr. Mallami continue, we're not going to end this program, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it has come to the end now. Thank you very much for coming to the studios of Diaspora TV.
Giving me the opportunity.
Thank you for educating us about
TV. Thank you very much. And the
Asiwaju.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark Bamidele. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you for educating us about Asiwaju-Shettima Great Minds.
Fantastic team, you know, when I came to this studio, I was amazed. I said, wow. I told my brother, because he's a Yoruba man like me, Mr. Mark Bamidele, I didn't know that it's all that big, you know. I've been sharing news about Diaspora TV on my platform.
Diaspora TV is a very standard TV station.
Very, very standard. They have, very, very standard. The world standard.
World standard TV station.
You know, because I've been to some studios in Nigeria. I've never come across all these. You know, there's one thing about Diaspora TV. If you go to your hotel or wherever you are residing today, in Switzerland or anywhere in Europe, just tune to 2021. Madam?
20.
Hello, madam. The canal from Diaspora
2106.
2106. Thank you, Filmal. So you just click on your remote, just press 2106, and you can see the Diaspora TV.
Thank you very much. That's,
anywhere.
That's
in
wonderful.
Your hotel, in the residential area, in the clubs, everywhere, because it is the Swiss standard television. Whatever if you can see this Swiss television SFRS on anywhere. I mean, anywhere. That is, you can also see the Diaspora television. That is what made them to be. They edged them out of some other local TV. This is not, this Diaspora TV is not what all these quack TV you are seeing on the YouTube from.
Talk about being proud of a fellow diasporan.
Yes.
Who's been able with his team
I can say it without mentioning what.
Such a thing.
That is my boy. That is, I think he said something yesterday. He said Mallami has influenced a lot of people, which is very true. He was one of them also, and I'm proud of what he's achieving today, where God has already placed him, where God, and by the special grace of God, God will keep on elevating him in life.
Thank you very much.
He's a very, very down-to-earth man.
Thank you very much.
Very, very polite.
We hope to have you again, Mr. Mallami.
Thank you very much.
For our viewers at home, thank you very much for joining us. Until another time when we'll be coming your way, stay tuned to Diaspora TV. God bless.